Good afternoon, everyone. I'm KRİSTOF Bedo, and today I will be presenting research on navigating multi-level environmental governance with a focus on corporate sustainability implementations in Hungary's agri-food sector transformation. This case study examines how Bonafarm, a leading Hungarian agri-food company, manages the complex interplay between EU directives, national policies, and local operational realities. Introduction. The agri-food sector plays a critical role in global sustainability efforts. Companies in this sector face increasing pressure to adopt environmentally sound practices while maintaining food security and economic viability. This challenge is particularly pronounced in regions like Hungary that are undergoing significant socio-economic transformations. Corporate environmental governance in such contexts require navigating diverse regulatory frameworks, national policies, and on-the-ground operational realities. Our research focuses on Bonafarm, a leading Hungarian agri-food company, examining how it addresses these multifaceted challenges in its pursuit of corporate sustainability. Specifically, I'm looking at the tensions between EU-level sustainability directives, national agricultural policies, and local operational constraints. Research framework and methodology. The study is framed with the multi-level governance framework, which helps us understand how decision-making and policy implementation are dispersed across various levels of authority. We distinguish between Type 1 governance, which refers to a former hierarchical structure, and Type 2 governance, which involves more networked functional arrangement. The research question asks, how does the implementation of corporate environmental governance at Bonafarm navigate the tensions between EU-level sustainability directives, national agricultural policies, and local operational realities in Hungary's agri-food sector transformations? Methodologically, I employed a case study approach focused on Bonafarm with data collection conducted over a 3-month period. I used mixed methods, including personal interviews with key stakeholders, document analysis of corporate and policy documents, and on-site visitations to operational facilities to gain a comprehensive understanding of the challenges and responses. Bonafarm overview. Bonafarm is a leading Hungarian agri-food company with integrated operations across the agricultural value chain. The company has 3 main operational divisions that were the focus of our study. First, Bábo Takarmány, their feed production unit, which produces approximately 500 tons of feed annually. Second, their pig farming integration segment, which manages around 650,000 fattening pigs through a network of partner farms. And third, the Csípőtelek site, which specializes in Holstein Friesian cattle breeding, with 3,000 cows producing 36 million kilograms of milk annually. Bonafarm operates at the intersection of multi-level governance, navigating EU directives, national policies, and local operational constraints. Key sustainability challenges across these operations include labor shortages, rising input costs, and climate change impacts. Feed production, challenges and strategies. Looking more closely at Bábo Takarmány, Bonafarm's feed production unit, we identified several key challenges. Labor shortages represent a persistent issue, exacerbated by proximity to industrial zones and national borders that drove potential employees away. Rising raw material costs due to fluctuating global commodity markets directly influence production expenses, requiring continuous cost optimization efforts. There are also an ongoing need for technological upgrades and infrastructure modernization, which requires substantial capital investment. In response to these challenges, Bábor Takarmány has implemented several strategic initiatives, including partnerships with vocational schools and universities to secure the future talent, comprehensive employee incentive programs, exploration of alternative raw material sources, and rationalization of their product portfolio to enhance operational efficiency. As you can see in this chart, raw material represents 60% of feed production costs, highlighting why price volatility in this area is particularly challenging. Pig farming, integration model. Bonafarm's pig farming segment manages approximately 650,000 fattening pigs annually, primarily through a network of small-scale partner farms due to internal capacity constraints. This segment faces key challenges. Declining pork consumption in Hungary, driven by evolving dietary preferences and rising prices, impacts the market demand and profitability. Feed costs constitute about 60% of production costs, making small-scale farmers particularly vulnerable to price volatility. Economic pressures have led to a decline in the number of small-scale pig farmers, threatening the stability of Bonafarm's integrated supply chain. Additionally, the influx of cheap imported pork puts downward pressure on domestic prices. To address these challenges, Bonafarm provides financial incentives and technological assistance to partner farms, optimizes feed formulations, modernizes facilities, and implements digital monitoring tools to enhance farm performance. Cattle breeding. The Csípőtelek site specializes in Holstein Friesian cattle breeding, with 3,000 cows producing an average of 12,000 kilograms of milk per cow annually. The site is strategically shifting towards A2 beta-casein milk production to meet growing market demands. However, this operation faces significant environmental and operational challenges. Climate change impacts, particularly heat stress from rising temperatures, directly reduce milk yield and animal welfare. Manure management presents challenges in terms of handling capacity and application costs. Rising feed and energy costs significantly affect profitability. Labor shortages have led to a reliance on foreign workers, particularly from the Philippines. Proposed solutions include investments in modern climate control technologies, enhanced feed self-sufficiency through improved crop rotation, sustainable waste management solutions, development of local training programs, and exploration of value-added products. Navigating multi-level governance. Bonafarm employs a pragmatic approach to navigating the complex interplay between different governance levels. At the EU level, sustainability directives and environmental regulations set overarching frameworks for agricultural practices and environmental standards. At the national level, Hungarian agricultural policies focus on maintaining domestic production capacity while adapting to EU requirements. At the local level, operational realities are shaped by specific socio-economic and environmental conditions at the farm level. Bonafarm blends elements of both type 1, hierarchical, and type 2, network, governance approaches to address these multi-level challenges. For example, the push for sustainable feed production and animal welfare, often driven by EU regulations, is met with local reality of labor shortages and the need for significant capital investment in modernization. Bonafarm's strategy of partnering with educational institutions and optimizing existing resources reflect a type 2 MLG approach, where private actors collaborate with local institutions to achieve broader policy goals. Key implications and insights. My analysis reveals several key insights with broader implications for corporate environmental governance. Successful corporate environmental governance requires adaptive approaches that blend hierarchical and network governance strategies to address complex sustainability challenges. Governance arrangement must align with ecological realities and local operational contexts to be effective, what we call institutional fit. Multi-stakeholder collaboration, including partnerships with educational institutions, small-scale farmers, and local communities, is essential for addressing systemic changes and challenges. Effective sustainability implementations require balancing economic viability, environmental protection, and social responsibility. The radar chart illustrates the current state versus targeted state across 6 key sustainability dimensions. While Bonafarm has made progress in areas like economic viability and governance integration, there are still significant gaps in climate adaptation and social responsibility that need to be addressed. Conclusion. In conclusion to my study of Bonafarm reveals several key findings. The company employs adaptive strategies that blend hierarchical and network governance approaches. Implementation of sustainability initiatives is heavily influenced by local operational realities. Climate change impacts directly affect corporate operations, requiring significant adaptive investments. Labor shortages represent a cross-cutting challenge across all operation segments. These findings have broader implications for the agri-food sector, highlighting the need for institutional fit between governance arrangements and ecological realities, the importance of balancing economic viability with environmental sustainability, the value of private-public partnership, and the role of corporate actors as intermediaries between policy and practice. The Bonafarm case demonstrates how corporate environmental governance in the agri-food sector requires continuous adaptation to navigate the complex interplay between EU directives, national policies, and local realities. Future research could explore comparative analysis across different agri-food companies in Central and in Eastern Europe, long-term implications of climate adaptation strategies, evolution of governance networks in response to changing EU policies, and integration of technological innovation in sustainable agricultural practices. Thank you for your attention.